Although Cambodia has a fine network of railway tracks dating back to the French colonial days, there are hardly any trains running these days. Real trains, that is. The locals get by perfectly well with their own indigenous invention, bamboo trains. The Cambodian railway system never really recovered from the horrors of war and the Khmer Rouge genocide that happened decades ago. They have just one proper train line in service, and the rest of the tracks were covered for years by homemade trains called Norrys. These weird contraptions aren't exactly what you'd call luxury transport. But they are cheap, about 50 cents a ride. And that suits the locals just fine. Norrys are made of bamboo, wood, and sometimes even parts of old tanks. The first one was built in the 1980s by 73-year-old Pat Oun, or so he claims. The earlier versions didn't have any engines. Drivers just stood in the train and used long bamboo poles to propel the vehicle down the tracks. "I did this for 20 to 30 kilometers in the past," said Pat, as he demonstrated the motion. There was a time when Norrys were the only means of transportation, but they aren't as common anymore. A few remain in the town of Battambang, in northern Cambodia, mainly catering to thrill-seeking tourists. But deep in the countryside, several hours away from Battambang, there exists a place where Norrys still provide a cheap and reliable service. The bamboo trains cover a 30-mile route every day, helping villagers get around. Like this one woman who sells bread and wine from a shack in Stung Touch village. "I haven't seen a regular train along here for 2 years," she said.